Yo, what's good guys, the Rap Journalist, and this week we'll be doing a weekly news roundup of all the big stuff that's happening in the music industry, so let's get to it. First thing is the chart battle. Nav released his newest album, On My Way to Rexdale, which is his latest full-length project featuring Playboi Carti, Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, and Don Toliver. What happened was that Nav was projected to sell 82,000 units in his first week, according to Hits Daily Double, which is a pretty reliable source when it comes to tracking sales each week, and that's after everything that happened, considering the new Billboard rules and all the changes in the bundles and stuff. We also have Lil Durk here, who sold 64k. He's in jail right now, so very little promo and everything, so that's pretty impressive. And then we have Drake's album, SOS, GNX, Sabrina Carpenter, Morgan Wallen, and then Bad Bunny. So this is a pretty good spot, considering the two other artists above him is Playboi Carti, who had an extremely hyped album, and then we had Ariana Grande, who released a huge deluxe for her album Eternal Sunshine, which released last year. He was projected by everyone, even Chart Data, who's super reliable, had said that he was going to be at number 3. However, this very quickly changed as Billboard filtered out all of Nav's sales. And this took him from 82k or 83k to 19k. So these are numbers of maybe an underground rapper, maybe like Osama Sun's next project or Netspend's next project. And overall, this is really bad considering how much they filtered out. They filtered out, close to 80% of everything he sold. And this was because what it said on the chart was that he had sold 70,000 Pi'erre albums. So that means that people had bought the t-shirts and the albums that he had listed on his website, and this is just not true in the age of streaming. You can't sell 70k units worth of bundles and albums. So very clearly the label. So he ended up selling 19k, which is still a little bit better than the 11k that was listed on Hits Daily Double. So overall, he pretty much fell off and only sold 19k. However, Nav could bounce back if he comes back with a Perfect Timing Part 2 with Metro Boomin, which he said was in the works, possibly, if the right things line up, according to a recent interview. So perhaps that might be his comeback project. Next subject. So Carti is fighting, or was fighting, for number 1 for his 3rd week. However, that did not happen. He still almost sold 100k units, which is impressive considering that he is, in his 3rd week of sales. Regardless, Ariana Grande dominated, pulled through with a ton of sales through, deluxe, with her deluxe version. Impressive performance from both, and Ariana Grande definitely won this week's sales battle. Next week, Carti is going to return to number 1, just selling 62k units in his 4th week. So this is going to be a non-consecutive week at number 1. So perhaps next week he might be at number 1 again, since no one had released any major albums in the past week. Hopefully that shows up. Speaking of opium, we have the Ken Carson debacle to go through. I don't know if many of you remember, but in 2021, someone asked if Ken Carson was going to rap over a Pi'erre Bourne beat, and that was something that a lot of fans wanted because, the sounds kind of go together, the spacey, atmospheric vibes of like Ken's earliest work and Pi'erre Bourne's beats that he's done for Carti and Nudie and so many other people. The vibes just fit. So in 2021, someone asked, and he said that Pi'erre kind of egoed him and told him that he was never going to be on his level because Pi'erre is obviously trying to make his rap career be as equally popular as his production career, with varied success. Eventually, they were beefing over all kinds of stuff. So like Ken Carson dissed him here as well, where Pi'erre was talking about like wearing Ricks. Ken definitely roasted him about what he was wearing. Talked about how he was doing that shit first. That all kind of spun out, and people never thought that there was a collab coming. However, Pi'erre Bourne all of a sudden reposts More Chaos, along with many other producers like Outta Town and Nick Spiders. Like, they all reposted the album, so this might suggest that he is on the project and that their beef has been squashed. He also comments the crossfinger emoji under Ken's album announcement, which again suggests that there is something in the works. So fans are led to believe that there's something between the two. And then earlier today, I cannot play this due to copyright or this channel will be struck down, but there is a track called Ghoul that leaked, and it was produced by Pi'erre Bourne, and it is not AI. This was from a series of leaks happened from Ken's album, which we will cover in a minute. Here it is. Pi'erre Bourne's producer tag is on it. It is not AI. This is a real track, and it's really good. The production fits perfectly. I feel like Pi'erre kind of mastered Ken's vibe for this project, and they both sound really good. And Pi'erre even like updated the way he does his hi-hats, and also like did a lot of distortion on the beat, which I'm guessing was the engineer. But regardless, the beat fits. Ken sounds great. I'm glad Pi'erre got a placement on Ken's project because it's so hype. Perhaps Pi'erre will go back to producing more because he is so talented. That's really great. As for Ken's album, there's been a lot of promo surrounding this whole project. So we have the classic graffiti. He did this for A Great Chaos last year as well, around this time. And this entire rollout has been pretty quick. And apparently there's features, and apparently there's going to be a lot of really good production on this album, so stay tuned. It's dropping in 3 days. Unfortunately, Ken's entire album leaked on Telegram, the entire thing. So that's where I got the Pi'erre leak from, was on Twitter, from this mass leak of his album. It happens to him every project, which is really unfortunate because, you know, he's been working hard on hyping up this entire thing. But it comes out in 3 days. I'm assuming he can't even postpone it anymore because there's just like no point. It leaked literally 3 days before, so it doesn't mean that like thousands of people are gonna like listen to that and then not stream his album. I'm assuming they will. So that's great. And on top of that, you can even see that Ken was really sad today, and he needed to click this cat because he is sad about his whole album leaking on Telegram. As for the last part of the news, we have Frank Ocean here. So Frank Ocean allegedly has created a Finsta that is supposed to be rolling out his next project. It is currently private, and the last time I saw this Finsta, it had like 6 following, and it's already followed by Frank himself, which is a strong indicator that this is real, and SZA. We're going to see if this is some part of some rollout. Apparently, the picture is not just a Michael Jordan YVL, which Carti I think has posted on his Opium account before. This is a picture of Michael Jordan in an interview where he talks about coming out of retirement. So could this be someone reaching, or is this really a possible rollout for a new Frank Ocean project? In addition, this has been contested AI. We don't know. We're trying to identify if it's real or not, but there has been a billboard in promotion for Coachella of the similar name, Kiki Boy, whatever that means, 2025. There it might be a connection, but again, no one can confirm if this is AI or not. And personally, I cannot tell. It looks pretty real, but then again, I could be very wrong. So that is the news for this week, April 8th, 2025. I'll be back with another video next week, probably reviewing Carti's album. Thank you so much for watching. This has been The Rap Journalist. Tune back in for more music news, and we will be covering more stuff in depth next week. Peace.